We're up to step 13 of our 6-inch smooth operator build. This video is part of a series on how to build the 6-inch smooth operator quadcopter. And at this point we're putting on our antenna mount in the back. Sorry to interrupt your video, folks, but this is really important. I got very excited earlier on in the build, and I made a big mistake that I wanted to point out so you don't do what I said and do what I should have done. In this picture, this is the front of the quadcopter. Notice the brace is underneath the arm. This is correct for the front. As you can see, again, this is the front, and the brace is underneath the arm. The motor is on top of the arm, and the brace is underneath the arm. But in the back, this is where I screwed up. You see, the brace goes between the motor and the arm. It should be motor, brace, arm. I did it wrong. Again, here we are, closer up. Motor, back brace, arm. This is the proper way to do it. When you have the back brace on correctly, then when you put the back brace keeper on with the 2mm spacers, it's perfect. If it's not working right for you, please check where you positioned the back brace and the arms and the motor in the rear. You probably screwed it up like I did. Okay, let's get back to the video now. Now, this is a little different on the 6-inch than it is on the 5-inch. Because you'll notice we got these two knurled parts that we need. And we also got these bolts and these and this bag of these pieces. This is what's new to the 6-inch smooth operator. So in most of the following videos, you're going to see me talking about these problems that I'm having with the spacers and the opening, and that's all because of this goof. So please take that into consideration. Also, my build is different in that I don't have the two bolts, the two-hole mount on the SMA connector. By the way, I had just had to change this out because the well, you see right here, this popped off just a few minutes ago, and I had to get another one and had to lift up the flight controller to sneak it underneath because I'm mounting this on top as opposed to on bottom, and I need to get this antenna down on the, let's call it the ground floor, while the VTX is on the top floor. So the way we start this is, well, let's start talking about this. This is the bottom. You notice there's a little protrusion there. That goes down like that. And by the way, these bolts, being that I don't have the hole mounts on there, and these bolts, I don't need these. These are to hold those two holes into the mount. So we're going to put those aside. And these bolts were to hold this on, but we're not using them because the 6-inch is going to use these mounts, these spacers, and this keeper plate. So let's start by just putting these knurled pieces in. Just a little gentle persuasion to get them in there. There we go. And now when we got that, I've got to put this facing downward on this. So I'm going to put the lock nut on and the little gripper on. I want that on the back. I'm just not sure which side is the gripper. There's the gripper side. One side of these washers is grippy and the other one not so grippy. Look at that. All the way down there. I don't want to pull this out so much because I got to thread it in just right. There we go. And let's just get that threaded down. Again, if I had the TBS, I wouldn't be using this nut. And if I was getting slippage, I might slip this behind it to hold it, but we're pretty good there. Alright, that's good. Let's just flip that over and slide that in. Now, it looks like we have a little problem here with this board here. So, let's see. I may have to loosen these to get that in. because it has to get underneath there. That's interesting. Okay, so you know, it almost looks like, no, that wouldn't matter. Okay, so let's loosen those bolts up a bit. This is a bit of a surprise. Let's just get a little space in there. Back these off a little bit. See if we can get a little gap going. See, this is kind of like the difference between the 5-inch and the 6-inch. Okay, so I got a little space there. Let's see if I have some movement. I get these in now. It's still kind of tight. I might have to take these motors off completely. Like I said, there's a lot of assembly and reassembly to get this done. Okay, now that that's in there, jeez, I'm just wondering about that. Maybe that brace is on backwards. No, the brace is on right. But that's supposed to be rising above that. I gotta figure out what's going on here. Why is that like that? As I put that on there, it's kind of high. Anyway, let's tighten these back up. It almost looks like the carbon is flexing. See, even I'm figuring this out as I go along. Okay, so now that we got that, we've got to... And right now I'm going to show the interjection of what I should have recorded at this point of how to correctly install the supporting brace for the rear arm. If you got the crossbar on right, you'll have a little gap right here, and that's why we have these washers. We're going to put our keeper here, just place those in place over the holes. Here's a little carbon fiber keeper for the back brace, and I like to put the screws in first so I can find the holes like that and just simply screw that down. And there will be a small gap in there, small gap right in there, but that's okay. That's the way it's designed to be. And that is a little reinforcement for the back brace. Also, if you have a GPS in the back, make sure you're not pinching these arms. It's very important that these arms for the GPS are not pinched. By the way, if you make the mistake of having this brace like one on the bottom and one on the top, this will bend a little and it will seem like this isn't right. And that'll be a clue that you've got that on wrong. I made that mistake once and I had fixed it just now. Back to something that I said. I still do need these bolts because they go on this side. Oh. Two different drivers. Make sure those holes are lined up right. So I stand corrected about that bolt. Still do need that bolt. Nice and snug. I've actually had quads where this has come loose. Just make sure we're nice and snug there. Because we are going into metal. Okay. Perfect. And then we just take our little stubby antenna and we can just screw it right on there. And there we are. Now we have our antenna all ready, and that's the end of this step. By the way, if you want to see more details on this, there is an addendum sheet that Neil did put up which shows this. And there you go. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching till the end of this video. This video is part of a series on how to build the 6-inch smooth operator quadcopter. I hope you found it valuable. If you did, please consider being one of my Patreon subscribers. I'm Joel LikeCatcher, and I really appreciate you spending your time with me. Remember to click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you'll know when my next video goes up.